Here at ChefSteps, our mission has always been simple, to make you a smarter cook. Today, we'll be revisiting some of our most popular recipes of all time.
And the flip the reveal. I overcooked that one.
Applying new school insights to old school ideas. You just have to grill it until it looks good. Classic recipes revisited. Don't say I didn't tell you. Just took me 10 years. Let's get cooking.
About 12 years ago, I published a recipe for a flourless carrot cake. It is more of a modernist carrot cake. So we were using lots of hydrocolloids, specifically carrageenan, to unlock the texture of pudding-like carrot cake with all the flavors of a baked one. So it's pretty out there, it's in the left field, but we're gonna revisit this 12-year-old recipe to see how those modernist techniques hold up over time. I learned this from Anjana Shankar at Modernist Cuisine with her caramelized carrot soup. What's happening here is you're removing the woody cores from the carrot. Those aren't as sweet, so you're left with a really nice sweet exterior. Better flavor, more carrot flavor in your base puree. So I took that. Love you, Anjana. That was a big pressure cooker for a few carrots. This was also inspired from Anjana's caramelized carrot soup. You take these cored carrots, put them in the pressure cooker. You know, this is gonna make it have so much more of this depth and caramely flavor to it. We were using lab-grade sieves. I think that was a number 50 sieve, which is equivalent to a fine mesh sieve. Those sieves have become a lot more affordable nowadays. They are super great because you're blending up raisins. You run the risk of having some skins that don't want to break down, or what usually happens to me is I miss one green cardamom pod in there and it's still blended, but the sieve is great at catching it. I was going through a big carrageenan phase. I love the combination of kappa and iota. Both are gonna help this custard set up really firm while being pudding-like in texture. Oh, baking soda. That was a big one. I was probably 20 trials deep before it kind of dawned on me. It's like, in cakes, you are tasting baking soda. So once I added that, that really took it to the next step. Dosing these bags is probably one of the most annoying parts of this recipe, but it's pretty critical. Though you can hydrate all of these bases in the carrageenan stovetop in a pot, that will alter the finished texture of it. So there isn't really a better way to hydrate hydrocolloids than in a vacuum bag. Iota and kappa, both of those really work well with calcium. So the calcium in the cream cheese will really help it set up. I bet no one was wondering that, and I just explained something that nobody cares about. 112.5 grams, a helpful amount for nobody. The reason for these being two different weights here is the bag on the right, 75 grams, that's for the middle of the cake. You just want the thinnest layer of cream cheese in the middle. And then the bag on the left, that is the coating for frosting the outside of the cake. It is beneficial to have extra coating. So if you make a mistake, you can quickly pour more over it and save it. All right, here we go. We're hydrating the pouch. That was at 90°C. You can pop those bags in simmering water or boiling water for about 5 minutes or so. You can let it sit for like 3 minutes. Okay, I think in this video we cut before I do this. But what I actually have to do here is when you pour that small amount of the cream cheese base in there, you need to quickly grab the sheet pan and swirl it so that way it spreads to all the sides. And let me guess, we're gonna cut here. Before I do that, okay, we got the second layer of the carrot, super backlit. Kind of turn this into a little craft corner here. So that's just an upside down spice container I had, and then the disc I'm putting on there was a camber lid I cut out that the diameter is just slightly smaller than the ring mold that the cake is. When you look at it at this stage, it might look like the cream cheese layer is super thick, but what actually happens here is when you swirl the cream cheese around, it sloshes to one edge, and so it kind of pools on the end. So though it looks really thick there, I promise you it's really thin and even all throughout the cheesecake. Oh, and the casting. That thing is setting up so fast, so fast. Baby carrots, the demi carrots from Chef Garden. I always love that with carrot cakes. You would pipe a little fake carrot on the top. I thought that was super cute. I wanted that same look and feel to this carrot cake. I first started out with buying the smallest carrots I could find and then just whittling them down to look like a little carrot. And Grant was like, I have always used Chef Garden. They can get you a carrot at basically any size you want. So I called them up. I was like, I need carrots that are less than or about an inch long. And they're like, we got you. These are our demi carrots. It's a wild ratio of simple syrup to carrots. I like to cook these carrots in the simple syrup vacuum sealed. You could do the stovetop. The majority of these carrots are cores right now, so they do take a decent amount of time to cook. So I think the cook time in this video is actually a lot longer than we say. Yeah, they just have a great texture to them. It's a really unique kind of candied carrot texture. Believe it or not, it's like this carrot cake is a little bit more forgiving as far as like moving around and touching it. It's intimidating to work with, but the more you work with it, handle it, you feel quite comfortable doing so. We got the beautiful carrots on top. Voila. 24 days later, you have the smallest serving of carrot cake in the world. Still make that recipe. Grant makes me do it every couple of years or so for dinner parties. I'm proud of that work. Important note that's not in the recipe somewhere is if you get really comfortable making this cake, each of those bags can make 2 carrot cakes. So a little fun fact. 12 years ago, I remember I was so afraid to read comments. People did not pull punches. You can make this in just 753 easy steps. Not wrong. I've learned to watch these for the sake of just knowing I could never recreate most recipes. Aw, you too can make this carrot cake. This is gotta be the most complicated cooking video I've seen on YouTube yet. Boom. Maybe we were going for that. Damn, props to the video. The chef. It even looks like a chemistry experiment. Excellent vid. Looks amazing. Thank you. Some positivity. Love it. I want the other guy. I don't know. I'm glad to see that though some people were trolling me, a lot of people loved it. So there it is, the flourless carrot cake, the recipe I'm probably most known for. It still holds up. You know, it's solid techniques. There's some shortcuts. There's some things that I still apply when I make this for dinner parties nowadays. But for the full recipe without all my nonsense comments throughout it, go to chefsteps.com, watch the video on YouTube. It's a great video, solid technique. You're not gonna find another one out there like it.
Subscribe to our channel and visit chefsteps.com for more tips, recipes, guides, and tools to help you level up in the kitchen.